It was 2 weeks ago here on the show that we covered a story with Chavo Guerrero. While doing an autograph signing, he drinking a little bit of beer, relaxing a little bit, feeling himself a little bit. Decided to kind of take a few shots at Rey Mysterio. And then he doubled down on those comments on Twitter. And then went back and said it was all a work. Just playing. Just joshing you. I'm just having some fun. Right? Just a heel being a heel. Lie, cheat, and steal. Right? And I covered it 2 weeks ago and I said I wasn't so sure about that. But just for the refresher, go ahead and take a look at this clip from that episode where we listen to Chavo's exact words and then take a look at his tweets, and then we'll be back with the latest.
I just don't understand why Rey Mysterio still has to... Look, we all love Eddie, but we're not going out with his gimmick. And our gimmick, our gimmick was Los Guerrero's gimmick, and coming out to Los Guerrero's, we lie, we cheat, we steal. And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, keep your names memorized." I said, "No, dude, you're. I'm tired of people." This is true. This is not a bitter thing. This is true. I'm tired. We worked hard for that last name. This whole family worked really, really hard to keep that name, to get that name to where it was. And we're tired of people prostituting it in a sense and using it for their benefit. So. Rey Mysterio, I'm sorry that no one knows who Rey Mysterio Sr. is. Rey Mysterio Jr., no one knows who he is. And I'm sorry that you have to latch on to the Guerrero family. And we're just kind of tired of it. So, thank you for keeping Eddie's name alive. Thank you for keeping the Guerrero name alive. But we don't need you. We're good. You know what I'm saying?
Then, after hearing that clip, Chavo doubled down. And he took to Twitter and he left this tweet here. We can show this on screen from Chavo Guerrero Jr. at Max Warrior. If at Rey Mysterio, ooh, he added him too. Come at me, bro. Hee is really mentioning the Guerrero name only in tribute and not to line his own pockets with cash, maybe he'll donate some of that money to charity. Or even better, how about to Eddie's daughters? That will show myself and the fans that he's not prostituting the family name. Woof. That was nasty. But it wasn't long after that Chavo Guerrero quickly changed his tune, tweeting this one here. This is how a heel should tweet. Hook, line, and sinker. I still got it. So after all that, Chavo did his best work online to just cover his tracks and say it was all a work and that we're all a bunch of dumb marks. We just fell for it. Oh, it was just that easy. He likes to say. Perhaps I'm a dumb fucking mark. I don't know. But it was in this interview with Chris Van Vliet on the Insight podcast where CVV brought up this controversial comment or these controversial comments about Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And Chavo continued to kind of back it down a little bit, but then he's just right at the end, he slipped a little extra little shot in there. I want you to keep in mind the clip that you just listened to with Chavo and everything he said. And if you're watching, you saw his face, right? Because he's going to tell you here now on Chris Van Vliet that it was all tongue-in-cheek. That you can clearly see he was just joking, just having some fun. Did it look like that to you? Maybe hit rewind and give it another listen. Otherwise, check out this clip from the Insight podcast with a sit-down interview of Chavo Guerrero with Chris Van Vliet.
So you created some real heat recently here.
Yeah, man.
People actually think that you are upset with Rey Mysterio talking about Eddie Guerrero and paying tribute to Eddie.
Look, mean, look, I've said it before, and Vince 100% believes this, just like Jerry Jarrett, that the Jeff Jarrett's father.
Yeah.
Real issues create real money. And when this is nothing that I didn't do in 2007. It was the same thing. You want to be a Guerrero, you'll never be a Guerrero, you're jealous of us, that whole thing. And people just latched onto it. Yeah. So Nick Houseman texts me and goes, hey man, your stuff's all over the news. What do you like, internet stuff? What do you mean? He's like, New York Post picked it up.
What?
And I'm like, really? I mean, I literally was kind of being tongue in cheek on it, I'm kind of laughing about it, whatever. And joking, hey, look, I'm sorry that nobody knows who Rey Mysterio Sr. is, but you want to be a Guerrero. You always want to be a Guerrero. It was very tongue in cheek. I said, well, I texted him back, said, watch my next tweet. So that's what I said this last tweet about him being a Guerrero, wanting to be a Guerrero, and using the Guerrero's name to his own benefit.
Yeah.
It could be real. I mean, if I was really, really pissed off, I could really do this and people would latch onto it. So people just started going nuts and going crazy. So finally, after I started messing with them, I said, okay, guys, I don't know what I said, like something like it's...
you basically said you were being a heel.
Hook, line, and sinker. That's the art of being a heel.
Yeah.
So I just had a little fun, and people still, I mean, literally, I just had somebody else telling me like I could pick my phone right now and just start going through the tweets, and they don't want to look at the other tweets that I put, like, okay, guys, wasn't real, and they're like, yeah, you're just backtracking, you're just doing this, and I'm like, oh my God, really? Are you guys that easy? They want to believe so bad, and people are like, oh, Eddie and Ray. I'm like, wait a minute, you hated Eddie when he was telling Dominik that I'm your poppy and stuff like that, and you guys hated him. Now you're something like, yeah, oh, they're like brothers, and I'm like, well. Yeah, they were fondness of each other. And when Ray says, oh, people were like, oh, they were best friends. I'm like, no, they weren't best friends. They were not best friends. I know what you perceive now. Yeah. But that's not what that was. Even when Eddie passed away, the day that Eddie passed away, Ray found out like everybody else. I didn't call Ray. Like, look, there doesn't say Rey Mysterio on the shirt. It says Eddie and Chavo. Yeah. And I didn't have to put Chavito because it was me and my dad. But we might add a Dominik. We'll see, but I don't think Ray's going to make it.
I love how much they're leaning into that.
You see how fast that is? It's so easy. That's the art of being a heel, like right there.
He couldn't help himself. He had to slide it. He's like, oh, let me here. I'll show you. I'll slip back into heel real quick and show you. What have you ever done lately? You're washed up, old. I think. Here, let me tell you what I think. I think, and by the way, Chris Van Vliet, I know he's a very nice guy and all of that, but I think he did a little bit of a disservice as a journalist by starting the question with Chavo by saying, after, oh, you stirred up a controversy last week. I can't believe that people think that this was real. Maybe I'm a dumb mark. Maybe I am the only one that thinks that this is real, but let me ask you. You saw Chavo now. You heard or saw Chavo say the comments at the autograph signing. Did it look tongue-in-cheek? And would you start your little heel work by saying, now this is going to sound bitter, but this isn't bitterness, and then say something bitter? He didn't walk it back in that interview at all, and he doubled down on it. And Vicky Guerrero has said as much before as well. She didn't like the use of Eddie Guerrero in some of the storylines. Like she's the fucking authority on Eddie Guerrero. She remarried to some dude who's being accused of rape right now. Accused. To Vicky's fucking Eddie's daughter. So she can fuck off. For all I care. But this just... I don't see any reason for this to be a work. And either Chavo's just the greatest fucking worker of all time and a fantastic actor, or he's saying real shit and then just sliding it under the guise of it being a heel work. He even said as much in this interview with Chris Van Vliet that the best heel work is using real stuff. And then he said that right before he went into burying Rey Mysterio some more, and then just said, see how it works? Is that how it works, though? Or are you just taking shots at Rey Mysterio? You know, you want to say, see, the shirt doesn't say Rey Mysterio on it. They weren't best friends. He's trying to make abundantly clear. Why? Why is he trying to, even if that's the case, why ruin that mystique that the fans have? Why is he trying to take the piss out of Rey Mysterio? Maybe I'm getting worked. Chavo says he had a conversation with Rey and they had a good hearty har laugh about it. If I was Rey Mysterio, I wouldn't find it funny. Chavo's said a lot of shit about Rey, and he's said more shit about Rey in this interview. Why say it? What's he working towards? He's not in WWE. What angle is he trying to book here? And all the fans on the internet and your Chris Van Vliets and I can't believe people are falling for that. You really got him, Chavo. Maybe. Maybe they got me. Maybe I'm a fucking mark. Check the chalk on my back. Maybe. But why? What's the point? Why say it? Why double down on it? Why still talk about it? Why add more to it? Why say, I was just kidding, I'm just being a heel, but you want to see how it works? You just bring in a bunch of real shit. Like, hey, Rey Mysterio sucks at this, and fuck him. See? It's real. Or it's all a work. I don't buy it. I think there's bitterness there, and I don't understand why, because Chavo is successful. He's not like a washed-up has-been. Chavo's doing great. He's in Hollywood now, baby. He's making that TV show money. What angle is he working? He's not returning to WWE. Is he going to stir up so much heat outside the ring that WWE's going to go, oh my God, we got to bring Chavo into this now. Why didn't I think of that? And if that was the case, if he was really trying to work himself into an angle, then why would he come out after and say it was all a joke? That it was all a work. He's just playing. He says because all the fans got all stirred up about it. Maybe. I'm clearly stirred up about it now because I don't see it that way. I think I see there's a meanness to Chavo. I fancy myself a good read of people. And there's a meanness to him. Something's bitter, angry in there. Maybe because because he's always, he's putting himself over a lot too with when Rey comes out to the lie, cheat, and steal music, that's our music. That's me. That's my voice on there. We lie, we cheat, we steal. That was the case for the original theme song, but not the one that they're coming out to now. It was redone. I lie, I cheat, I steal. It wasn't we lie, we cheat, we steal once Eddie went solo. It was when it was the Los Guerreros for a little while, and then Eddie took that theme song and they reworked it a little bit. Chavo's got a little bit of jealousy in him. I think maybe he's upset that Rey Mysterio is recognized as the guy, the Eddie Guerrero guy. Like Eddie's legacy lives on through Rey and then Dominik. But not through Chavo. Chavo's like, hey, wait a minute, that's my brother. That's my family. It's his uncle, but it's his brother, basically. They grew up as brothers. Chavo's bitter. There's a bitterness to him and a little bit of spite, a little bit of meanness towards Rey Mysterio. He's got a little bit of vitriol in him. He really does. Call me a mark. Say I'm being worked. Do it. I don't care. You can't fucking tell me that this is coming from a place of love and that he's just playing with everybody. You can't. Maybe he's running with it now. Maybe he's working it now to a point because it's getting him buzz. But I don't think those comments in that original autograph session, I don't think those comments were made tongue-in-cheek. They weren't made in jest. I watched the whole 2-hour interview waiting for because I heard the news that he had said something before I actually heard him say something. Otherwise, I'm not going to spend 2 hours watching a Chavo Guerrero autograph signing. But I watched it. There wasn't one point where he was working or joking around about anybody else or doing anything else like that. He had a bug up his ass about Rey Mysterio coming out using Eddie stuff. Vicky had said something about it too. I wish I knew where it was on Twitter. I'm not digging through months or even a year of Vicky Guerrero's tweets to find it for you. I'm a podcast journalist, but I don't love you guys that much. I'm not that big of a podcast journalist. But it's out there. She's mentioned it too. I think the entire Guerrero family is probably pretty. They have a hair up their ass about this. I don't know why. Because first of all, WWE owns the likenesses to the character that was used on TV at that time of Eddie Guerrero. Latino Heat, Lie, Cheat, and Steal. It's all WWE shit. They can use it if they want to. LWO, Chavo took a shot at that. Rey wasn't even in the LWO. That was my stuff. That's what he's bitter about. I'm telling you, that's what he's bitter about. WWE is doing a storyline now with Rey Mysterio that Chavo thinks that could probably easily be him. Should be him, perhaps. Like, if you're going to do that story, why aren't you doing it with me? I'm the actual Guerrero family member. Maybe I'm reading this completely wrong. I would love for you to let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. Am I being worked? Am I a giant mark? Am I overreacting? Am I reading too much into it? Or am I calling it like it fucking is? Or at least as I see it. That Chavo Guerrero's got some kind of hair up his ass about this Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, LWO, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, Lowrider. All the shit they've been doing to tribute Eddie lately. Using it in the storylines with Dominik. It's bugging the Guerrero family. Look, maybe they have every right to be upset about this. But then why hide it? Why backtrack it? Because you know it makes you sound bitter. And that's why you said, I'm not trying to be bitter here. I think that's a concern that Chavo has. So, I don't know. I'm probably just a giant mark, but I just don't. To what ends? If he's working, why is he working? For what? To what? Just to mess with people on Twitter? No. You know what he did? He said something stupid at the end of a 2-hour-long autograph session. It was probably a long day. He was probably bored of it, sick and tired. He was being fed beers during the autograph signing. Loose lips, a little bit of alcohol flowing, a little bit of grumpiness. And that comes out. And then, it's starting to make news about it. Chavo defends himself because he actually feels that way. Doubles down. Then the internet really starts going nuts, and that's where he's got to pull it back and be like, okay, all right. Tell you what, guys, it was just a work. I was just kidding. It was all a work. You're all a bunch of marks. I gotcha. But then I'm going to go do an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and I'm going to take a few more jabs at Rey Mysterio and the LWO and all of that. Laugh about how it is possible that maybe Dominik is a Guerrero. Ha ha ha. See, I'm just working. I don't like it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Chavo has. I always liked Chavo. I was fond of Chavo. Not a fan of Chavo. He was never like, ooh, Chavo. But, I mean, I didn't not like him either. You know, I had respect for him. But I feel like this lowers it a little bit. I see the bitterness coming out. Maybe I'm a mark. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. Viva la raza.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.